Hello, my lovelies. How are you all doing? Okay, so right now I am going to be doing, I'm feeling drawn to do another message from your shadow aspect. Something from your shadow wants to come up and be spoken to you. So these can tend to not be for everybody. Again, let's just remember that a fully integrated individual accepts both, accepts all polarity, accepts every aspect of themselves. Acceptance does not mean that it's not transmuted, but your shadow aspect has a lot of lessons and information to share with you. When you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you can fear no evil because of your shadow aspect. Your shadow aspect is what has allowed you to survive in some of your outdated, old, molded ways of thinking and believing and feeling and seeing the world. And so never be afraid of your shadow aspect. Honor it, love it, integrate it, and allow it to speak to you as you're on your journey. Just as a reminder, some content may not be suitable for those who are under the age of 18, so click off if you're not 18. I do cuss like a sailor. If that's not your shtick, then I may not be your woman. If you've come to this channel, there is probably somewhere on it a message for you or a message out there for you within the land of readers. And so I definitely highly suggest that you continue to look and search. Something tells me you will find your message. Okay. Energy is fluid, and just remember, I deal in energies. So sometimes what is channeled to me with the cards doesn't necessarily match up with the card itself. So just go with the flow. If it's not yours, this is not Cinderella. Do not try to make the shoe fit. Okay. If it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate. At some point, hopefully, you find the message that you are looking for if it does not resonate. Okay. All righty. So I did a little bit of clearing. Thought I was going to pound out all the elements today. Got through water, got through earth, and it seems as though right now what's going to happen is I'm going to work from the shadow because that's exactly what I was pulled to do. So I do not get to question what comes through on my channel. I just honor it. So let's see here. Okay. I am feeling, this is the Messenger Oracle card deck by Raven Fallon, in case anybody was asking. Jesus, that was fast. All right. All right, so the card that we get is Follow the Moon. Okay, I'm going to make sure that you got to see that. All right, we're going to put it over here. Again, with some of the Oracle decks, I definitely feel like they are infused with a particular energy. A lot of times, sometimes things get channeled to me. There are some Oracle decks that I just feel that Spirit really wants me to hear what's been written. And believe me, Spirit is not going to take the complicated route. If there's an easy way to get a message to you, whatever the easiest route to get a message to you is going to be the route that they take. They meet you where you're at. For instance, I definitely have heard my guides cuss at me before. I'd probably question their legitimacy if they did not from time to time. Okay, that's how I roll. I'm like, oh, you shitting? And they're like, would you just sit down, Shauna. Just, they meet you where you're at. If it's through feathers, if it's through signs, symbols, synchronicities, angel numbers, whatever it is, whatever you're willing to pay attention to, if they need to get a message through to you, they will. So they're not going to take the complicated route. Okay? They understand how us humans work. They're not dumb. You got to be shitting me. This number is incessant in my life. Okay, this is my number. This is a very important number. But they pointed it out to me, so nobody else will pay attention, but this is number 13. See? I read it. Okay, so, well, come on now. All right, number 13. Let's see what they've got to say starting out. All right. 3/4 of Gaia's surface is covered in water, and the moon's pull can lift the Earth's oceans at the equator and carry them along in her wake. 2/3 of the human body is also water, and therefore you also are subject to her power. As she waxes and wanes, so do you. Take note. Follow the moon cycles and take note of how you think and feel as her light increases and decreases. Take time to explore and understand her influence upon both your body and your emotions. And this actually, they're giving me something. This actually is the message from your shadow aspect. Knowing and understanding how your shadow impacts and influences and pulls and tugs on how you feel, how you interact, and how you explore your world. Okay, and so there is an influence there that happens, and it is up to you to delve into that. Your shadow often is insight to your subconscious, to the things. Not even with an integrated and healed shadow, it's there to show you what is hidden agendas, hidden influences, um, uh, patterns within your life. Um, there is a subtle influence that your history and your past and your shadow has within your life, and that's the reason why it's asking you not to ignore those. That's actually very much so important information for you. All right, here we go. Let's see here. We're gonna whip this out. Okay. All right. I have like little tiny hands and like what seems like a normal tarot deck. This is Starman Tarot deck. Um, it's actually, I mean, it looks like a normal deck. My hands have like a hard time. So if I look janky when I do this stuff, just forgive me, okay? I realize I have teeny weeny hands. All right, Spirit, what does whoever we're tapping into, their shadow aspect has a message, something that they've been ignoring that needs to come to the forefront, that they need to pay attention to. Ooh, okay. Okay. They're showing me stuff whenever I get quiet. I do apologize. I know it's like the suspense is killing me. Okay. So the first two cards are came out face up, and it's really what is, I think, evident to you at this point in time. And the next two cards are the things that are not nearly as evident to you at this point in time, and that's what your shadow really wants to point out to you. And so the first one is the clown. In the Starman Tarot deck, the clown is the Fool in the traditional tarot deck. There's definitely, in this particular one, this is after the death and the rebirth, where you, like in the Judgment card, where you are resurrected. All that you used to be is now gone, and you've heard the call, and you rise up like the phoenix out of your ashes into something new. And so there is an innocence about this that does exist, but it's not willfully blind ignorance, as say when you were 18 or 15 or whenever, starting out. um, there is a transmutation of energies that has occurred, and a wisdom that you get to take along with you. But that wisdom and knowing and understanding and integration that has occurred actually allows you to be open and receptive in ways you weren't before. Open and receptive means it does not equate to a lack of boundaries. It does not equate to um, just allowing anything and everything into your energy field, but it is being open to that which is meant for you and not constricting things to fit through a pinhole, not being so shielded and guarded that shit can't get through, or that it takes 10 fucking years for the shit to get through because it has to drip through the pinhole that you've made. It's almost as if there's this shield. They're showing me a shield that you have over your body. This, I used to tell people, I'm like, as an empath, I couldn't figure out, shield yourself, protect yourself, and I'm like, what does that mean? And that, you can do all these little things, right? But if your energy is not in alignment to having those boundaries set so that energetic interferences can't come through, then nothing that you do is going to completely 100% help. And so you really have to get into that place of, not only do I understand now, I have the knowledge and the wisdom, I've embodied it. And so it's the energy that I emit that allows me to shield myself from things that are not for me. It is the frequency and the energy I emit that pulls in the right situations and people and circumstances. Yes, moths are attracted to a flame. Like, anything can be attracted to your light, but the shield, part of that shield is the discernment that you have in regards to what to let into your energetic field and how that feels and what that looks like. And that's how this fool is. This fool has all of that. So it's a brand new beginning. He's almost got this smirk going on because he's not the same fool he once was. Come on. See that? He knows. He knows all the traps. I see that diamond. You see that diamond in the bear trap? I know which ones to step in, which ones to avoid. I know how to walk this path. I got that fire burning inside of me, but I know exactly what I'm doing. And knowing that you can't be touched in that capacity, almost, you're so free in this energy now and not closed off like you were at the end of your journey. Because this is almost like a whole brand new journey, whole brand new person. Phoenix has risen. You are willing to take risks because you have the faith and the knowledge in yourself. You've been there, you've survived hell, and you came out that shit with wings. Okay? And so in that, you have the ability to manifest anything you so desire. There's a sense of knowing and understanding what your power is. And an open and receptiveness to gaining more of that for the sake of, well, they just said it doesn't matter what's for the sake of. Okay, my bad. Because it's really about every element of life, like implementing the power that is within you, the skills, manifesting in any aspect of life. so that you are able to, it's really harnessing and honing and directing it, having understanding of all of the elements, how each one plays a part and a facet in what it is that you're trying to create. You just know at a deep level what that power within you feels like, and you know how to harness it and hone it. Let's see here. The piece that you're not listening to, or that you're not aware of, they've got the Three of Pentacles, and then the Seven of Pentacles. How that manifestation will look like, it's almost as if your ego wants to convince you that this is something you do on your own. Like, I got this shit. I got this. This is within me. I am powerful. I can manifest. And you were doing shit you never thought you could before. You're navigating those traps. You're just fucking ready. But what you need to understand is your ego, if gone unchecked, is going to convince you that it is something that you can completely achieve on your own. And you are meant to collaborate. You're meant to collaborate as you build your manifestation, as it comes to fruition. Okay? I feel like these two are pretty self-explanatory, and I really want to clarify the Three of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles to see what exactly is happening, and how to avoid the pitfall of letting the ego show up in a negative aspect, in a negative shadow aspect. But you have learned up to this point. It's just a matter of an awareness that you need to be to have, and that's that self assessment piece that you need to be employing to realize you're about to get into a trap. You've been there before. You're about to get into a trap where they want to keep you in a place where you keep avoiding these traps. And the trap that they're trying to talk about right now is your ego convincing you that somehow this is meant to be done alone, that this is not something that's in collaboration, that you've done all the personal work, so therefore everything is just going to come to you. And that's not exactly how this is going to pan out, whatever the situation is. I'm not feeling these. I'm going to keep going. And so I want more information on the collaboration and the building, to help you so that you can kind of see why that's, why. Tell us more about the Three of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, please, Spirit. Your shadow aspect is pulling this up for a reason. Sorry, they're showing something to me. They keep saying there's this pie in the sky. I don't know why they're like this whole woo frou frou something in the sky that needs to come to fruition, to be planted and to actually see that beautiful rose, and it's being watered. It needs to come to fruition within. So you know exactly what you need to do in a particular situation, but it's the actualization of it within the 3D that needs to happen. And there's something about the collaboration that's going to get you to the actualization within the 3D. All right. Speak to us. Tell us what we need to know. Well, I tell you, Shadow's calling you out. Bitch, you about to walk up into some ego. You better watch out. I don't know why none of that actually feels like anything. I don't feel it, I put it back. I do have teensy weensy hands. And that I already warned you that sometimes impacts my shuffling. So Spirit will let me know what's meant to come out. Like they're literally, like if I look at a card, a message will come through, or I'll they let me know if that's too many, Spirit. Okay. Please clarify Three of Pentacles. What is this collaboration that needs to occur in order to bring this pie in the sky idea, this notion, this understanding ethereally that needs to come into, oh good God, that's too many, into, manifest into day-to-day reality. I have a feeling this person or people that I'm feeling for have kind of actually had this thought and this notion that somehow they might need some help and assistance. That you've actually kind of heard your shadow going, like literally feeling like maybe I'm getting a little too ahead of myself here is what I keep hearing the person say. Like I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. I know I meant to do this, but I still need the practicality of things. I still need help and assistance in the practicality. Anything else, Spirit? Thank you. All right, here. The cards that came out, and I'm kind of going to put this between the two of these two, the Three of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. The first one was Justice. Sure as hell looks like Archangel Michael to me. Oh, but it says Archangel Raguel. Raguel. It feels very Michael. I'm going to be honest with you. Then we've got the Knight of Earth, which is the Knight of Pentacles, and then in the regular tarot deck. And then the Knight of Fire, which is also the Knight of Wands in the traditional tarot deck. Feeling this is a bit you right now, okay? So you're passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and a bit restless. There's this feeling of shit's not happening right now, and like as quick as you want it, and so you're almost kind of like, I'm going to go, I got this, I can take this, I'll get this manifested. You know, and it's like, well, yes, you're a key ingredient in this, but you are not the be-all, end-all. And that there's, while time is of the essence, this whole charging forward type of situation, like feeling and energy that you've got, like I got this, I can handle this, you do got this. That's good. That self-assured understanding of what you're capable of is, but you kind of got to understand that there's some nitty-gritty shit that needs to occur in order for this to come to fruition. And the Knight of Earth, or the Knight of Pentacles, is really good at understanding the work or the steps, the practicality of things that need to occur in order to actually make something. So, while you have the backing of the universe and your spirit team and everything to help you, and you've got the skill sets and the abilities within you, whether this is love, if you have the capacity and the fire and the burn, and if this is career, if this is a house move, it doesn't really matter. What you're aiming for and what you're wanting, what your goal is, still has to take on some practical steps within this realm. And so, just like that beautiful flower needs the rain and needs to be tended to, and everything else like that, so that it can actually manifest within this realm. Feels as if this situation has others that must be involved. And there's a piece of your shadow that doesn't want that, because you are really feeling, there's this sense of, I know what is right. I'm justified in this, and that that you've had to really stand up for your beliefs and stand up for your points of view and stand up for and almost fight. That's why I'm getting that whole Archangel Michael vibe off of this card, rather than the other, because there's this sense of protecting that which you know to be true, but almost taking that like the stance of not being open to the assistance, whether it's in the 3D or 5D or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Oh shit! You notice what I just did there? You have faith in yourself. Like there's a fear. That's what it is. Your shadow's telling you the reason why you haven't gone this route is that you're afraid that someone's going to try to change change how you come to the realization, or what it is that you're trying to achieve. Like they're gonna, how somebody can like almost tinker with something enough till it no longer resembles that which you initiated and started a project, or like even in a relationship, how you lose yourself in that, and it begins to have elements of codependency. So you fear losing your individuality, your sense of sovereignty within a particular situation, and your ideas, your beliefs, your notions, whether that's love or career. I'm not getting that this is for either. This is for anybody who is in this particular situation, of knowing that you actually have the magic and the ability. You're not the same fool you once were. Okay? You know how to make the calculated risks. You know the traps that lay out there. And your shadow aspect is actually showing you right now there's another trap that lays ahead. You could get trapped into the thought and patterns that you have to defend your beliefs, and that if you let somebody in, whether it is to help you on a project, or whether it is to in a love situation, or even friends, that somehow you're going to lose your truth in all of that and your power. And that's not real. You can only hand your power over if you so choose. You know that now. No one can take that from you. So this is the reason why the justice is here. You can co-create with others and still, what it says is, do what you know is right, stand up for your beliefs. You don't have to fight in this situation. You are capable of working with another, co-creating not just with the universe, but yes, with the universe, but with others, whether it's starting a family or anything. You are capable of doing that and still being your sovereign self, and still staying integral to what your truth is, to what your vision is, to what your passion is. You don't have to compromise any of those things. But when you say you want something and that this is your goal, understand that how it feels in your spiritual sense and understanding is not always, I mean, it's going to look maybe not exactly how you thought, you know, or how you envisioned it, but how it feels will still be the same, if that makes sense. Like, there's still practicality. Like, you still live in a muggle world. You still have to navigate systems, and this isn't the time of Lemuria. This is the 21st century. And we got some shitty shit that we have to deal with. And other people are healing as well. And so, and yes, it's scary when you re-navigate something as a healed person and you begin to embody everything. Shit, fuck yeah, that can be scary. Don't fall into the trap, though. You want to manifest the life that you have envisioned. It's gonna require tending to the details. It's gonna require collaborating with others. It's gonna require you to think things through carefully and to tend to all the little knick-knacky details. Okay? You're not going to be able to always do that by yourself. We do not operate in a fucking silo, no matter how much you want to try. We can move out into the middle of BFE, okay? But let me tell you something. You're only going to last so long. At some point, I don't know, you might have a health issue. You might need to seek out assistance. Like, there's no such thing as operating or living in a silo. It doesn't happen. We heal the individual for the sake of the collective, and vice versa. I am in God and God is in me. That saying, or source, whatever you want, whatever terminology. There is no self without the collective. There's no collective without the self. Okay. So this notion that just because you did it and you healed, that somehow you now operate in a silo and you can just manifest, that's not how it works. That's not how it's going to work. Are there going to be some things that it's just you and your spirit team working on? Yes. Is that how it's going to be all the time? Most of the time, no. Okay? If you want to see this shit come to fruition, if you want what you said you truly desire, you're not going to be creating it by yourself. Just saying. It reminds me of that story. I don't know if it was Kylie Jenner, the one that has the makeup, and they're like, oh, the self-made billionaire, youngest, and they're like, she didn't do it by herself. This isn't something she didn't start making the cosmetics in her basement, and she didn't come up with the formulas on her own, and she didn't create anything, definitely she had magic, and she had her skill sets and her abilities and the self-assuredness and the confidence, but she didn't do it by herself. Okay. And neither are you. And I think that's what your shadow really wants you to understand. Don't get into the ego trap of somehow feeling like, or the fear of, that you're going to have all that you've worked so hard to achieve within yourself stripped away if you co-create with something else. That is in fact, the biggest point, is that we hope to infect and disseminate this understanding and of healing and the true sense of self and sovereignty to the mass, to the collective. And you're not going to do that if you keep yourself in a silo. So be careful not to fall into that trap. Your shadow really wants you to pay attention to this, and it can show you how to avoid that trap, because you've been there before, and you know that's not how this works. You know that that's not going to bring you what you want. You know that's not how to manifest this. So, all right. Yep. Beautiful. Okay. Well, I hope that resonated. If it did, please hit like on the video. Definitely subscribe. We have I'll have more content coming through. I'm going to try to make sure it's a little bit more regular, at least once a week, having new content. So, and leave me a comment if there's anything that I'm putting everything in playlists. If there's something that you want me to cover that I haven't, let me know. Okay? All right. Y'all have a fantastic day.